Hi, thanks so much for joining me on CBS 8 Plus and CBS8.com. Right now, Muslim community leaders are about to hold a press conference on yesterday's deadly shooting at the Islamic Center of San Diego. Just 2 hours ago, we learned the names of all 3 victims who were killed. Amin Abdullah, also known as Brian Climax, he was the security guard out front. He is hailed a hero for slowing down the 2 shooters and calling for a lockdown just feet away from where the children were inside the school. The other 2 victims, one was an elder, Mansour Kazia, also known as Abdullah. He was a pillar of the Islamic Center, and Nadir Awad, whose wife is a teacher at the center. He lived across the street and rushed over as soon as he heard gunshots. Together, they drew the attention of the shooters to the parking lot and away from the roughly 140 children inside. Let's listen in.
In the name of God, the most merciful, the most compassionate. My name is Saad El-Digwi, first name Saad, S-A-A-D, El-Digwi, E-L-D-E-G-W-Y. I'm here today, first, to thank all of you. Second, to share with all of you and the whole entire community that our mosques are places of worship, places of education, places of peace, places that are open to everybody in our community, not the Muslim community members only, but all members in the community, Muslims and non-Muslims. It is hard to know and hear and witness. I was here in the scene right after the shooting, and I've seen the security guard on the ground. It is heartbreaking. It is sad to see the places of worship attacked and targeted this way. Also, we are here today to honor and to show love and respect and pray for our 3 heroes, the security guard Amin, our dear father and older brother Abdullah, one of the main pillars of this community and this mosque, whom I know for more than 25 years, whom I cannot imagine entering the mosque without seeing him, walking and serving the community in all ways that he could. I'm here also to honor and show respect, and we are all here to honor our hero, Nadir. 3 of them. They saved our community, they saved our mosque, they saved our school, they saved lives. When you look at the cameras and see exactly what happened, you can tell that without 3 these heroes in the scene sacrificing their lives, it would have been worse than that. So we pray for them and we stand by their families as one family, as one community. We're here to support anybody, not only Muslims, but everybody in the community, because the mosque is about the main message of Islam, which is mercy and peace. We are all here also to let our Muslim community know that we're going to continue. Nothing and no one is going to stop us to spread peace and to stand for civil rights and social justice. We are here to ask everybody in the community to stay patient and to stay strong. We're not gonna stop. We'll move forward. This is our nation. This is our country. And we are here to spread love. Hate speech leads to hate crimes. Hate speech leads to terrorism, extremism. And we are here to fight all that in all legal ways and all peaceful ways. Thank you all. And again, I remind my Muslim community here to stay strong and to be in touch with us in the next couple of days to do our job towards our heroes, Nadir, Abdullah, and Amin. Thank you so much.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الصلاة والسلام على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما كثيرا. Thank you so much for coming. I don't have nothing to add as what Dr. Saad said, but the question that needs to be addressed is not what happened, why it happened. And always I say to myself, why the place of worship should have security even in the first place. This is a place of worship where you come to worship God. And worshiping God means that you are a peaceful person, a loving person. Why we have to have security in the first place? And people now are asking us to increase more security because nobody wants to address the root cause. The root cause why people they should have guns and heavy guns like this, that this kind of teenager they have access to it. That is the question that need to be addressed, and we need to talk about them, and we need to find solution to that. Otherwise, today here, God forbids, tomorrow somewhere else, and we're gonna deal only with the symptoms. So I hope we can address this question and come to a solution. And when people they don't have the power of logic, they go to the logic of power. If you have any differences, people can dialogue, can converse, and they can agree, can disagree. But to come to this, and you end up just what you have done, you killed yourself and you kill other people and so on. And I was told that they killed the security and they went to their cars, then they saw the other two and they went after them. We already killed one person, why you have to go and kill others? But the question again, we need to address the root cause of these things. And also the message, I want to reiterate what Dr. said. This will not intimidate us. And that is the message we're going to tell people. We believe that our lives is in the hand of the one who created us. And we die when our time comes. And we're going to come. And the last word is to the Muslim community. Please don't be intimidated, don't be scared. Come to the mosque. That is your place. And especially in this time when we need to be together. My God, have mercy on those who passed away. And my God, give patience to their family. And we are together in this. And we're going to overcome this. And we're going to go through very strong. Because sometimes things that happen to you either can make you or break you. I believe it will make us, and we're going to stand tall as people. Thank you so much.
Thank you to our faith leaders. They give us hope. They are our sounding board, and they bring peace to our lives. For years, the Muslim communities across the country have experienced rising Islamophobia, anti-Muslim harassment, dehumanization, threats, and dangerous rhetoric that paints our communities as suspects, threatening, or somehow less deserving of dignity and safety. And we saw that. To talk about some of the national rhetoric, I would like to invite Brother Osama, who's the Secretary General of USCMO, which is the United States Council of Muslim Organizations.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalam ala Rasulillah. On behalf of the U.S. Council of Muslim Organizations, USCMO, a national umbrella of local and national Muslim organizations, we express our heartfelt condolences to the Islamic Center of San Diego, the Muslim community, and the San Diego people. Today is a somber day as we are once again forced to confront violence committed against places of worship and communities seeking peace and safety. No person in America should ever have to worship in fear or feel targeted, persecuted, or unsafe because of their faith. We must also be clear, acts of hate do not emerge in vacuum. Reckless rhetoric, fear-mongering, and the normalization of hostility toward religious communities contribute to an environment where a division and hatred are allowed to grow. Public officials and political leaders carry a tremendous responsibility in shaping a discourse and shaping the world matters. Those in positions and influence must exercise greater care and leadership because the inflammatory language has real-world consequences and can contribute to a climate that makes tragedies such as this one here possible. We also extend our gratitude to San Diego law enforcement and first responders for their swift and immediate response and for the actions they took to safeguard the community during the difficult time. We will never forget those three heroes, a role model for our community and for the world to see how sacrifice can save tremendous number of lives. We ask Muslim communities nationwide to remain vigilant, prioritize safety, and take appropriate precautions. At the same time, we cannot allow fear to define us or force us into isolation. We will not surrender to hate, and we will not allow acts of violence to undermine our faith, our unity, and our places of worship. Thank you.
Thank you, Brother Osama. Meaningful action must be taken before another tragedy strikes. Not after lives have been lost, but before that. Public leaders must be willing to clearly and unapologetically name Islamophobia and confront it directly, because community safety cannot be a compromise. Next, I would like to invite Sister Ramla Saeed from PANA, Partnership for the Advancement of New Americans.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Ramla Saeed. I'm the Executive Director of PANA, the Partnership for the Advancement of New Americans. The Islamic Center of San Diego is our heartbeat. It is where we pray, we heal, we raise our children, educate our youth, and welcome our community. Under Sheikh Taha's leadership, the Islamic Center is a national model for what it looks like to build and nurture interfaith solidarity. Our community is deeply grieving right now. We are horrified by the hate and bigotry that fueled this violent act. We are fearful of gathering for daily prayers and of gathering to mourn those murdered in yesterday's shooting. But let's be clear, since 9/11, we have witnessed a rise in Islamophobia and attacks on our communities that has been backed by this country's law enforcement and national security networks for nearly 25 years. Our Muslim brothers and sisters across the country live this reality every single day. The state-funded demonization of Muslim Americans and the climate of anti-Muslim bigotry fueled by the president and his white Christian nationalist allies has put a bright red target on our community. The truth cannot be ignored. Yesterday's shooting at the largest mosque and gathering space for Muslims in one of the country's largest cities is inherently rooted in Islamophobic hate and bigotry. We call on our city leaders and law enforcement to acknowledge and do everything in their power to protect the Muslim community that was a targeted victim of this attack. We stand together. We love this community. We will not be erased. We honor the three people who sacrificed their lives yesterday to save so many. Amin Abdullah, the Islamic Center security guard, stood his ground to defend our mosque and our children. He heroically radioed the school to go on lockdown and prevented many casualties. Nadir Awad, a member of our community and neighbor who heroically rushed to the masjid after hearing initial gunshots. We mourn him. Mansour Kavisa, caretaker of the Islamic Center and one of the first individuals to call 911. He was tracking the shooters when he got shot. We mourn our brave heroes. May Allah grant the peace to the families of our martyrs and unite all of us in love and solidarity. Thank you.
Thank you, Ramla. It is time for our elected officials to step up. When anti-Muslim hate is normalized in political discourse, media narratives, and online spaces, there are real-world consequences. Our children hear that rhetoric, our families live with that fear, and increasingly, our schools, our houses of worship are forced to think about security in spaces that should have been places of peace. Next, I would like to invite the board of Bright Horizon Academy, the school which was affected by this tragedy.
Today our hearts are heavy. We're devastated by these tragic events that took place at our school. First and foremost, we mourn for the lives that were lost. And we stand in grief with those families, with our loved ones, students, staff members, and our entire community. There are no words that can describe how we feel today, but we want to express our deepest gratitude and thanks to our dear brothers Amin Abdullah, Mansoor Kaziha, and Nadir Awad for their selfless bravery and sacrifice, which prevented a much bigger catastrophe. While there are no security plans that can prevent or take away the trauma of this tragedy, we are grateful that our emergency protocols, staff training, coordinated response procedures help save lives of our students and our staff members. We will continue to work with law enforcement and safety experts as we evaluate every aspect of our response and strengthen our efforts moving forward. We also want to thank and express our gratitude to the law enforcement agencies for their overwhelming response to this incident. We are grateful for their coordination and partnership. But right now, our focus is on supporting our students, our families, and our local communities, our staff members, as we begin this long process of healing, which will take time. Counselors, mental health professionals, faith leaders, and support teams are being made available to all those impacted, and we will continue to hear from them as time goes on. We ask for your continued prayers, compassion, privacy for the affected families, and for everyone carrying the weight of this tragedy. Healing will take time, as I said, but we will stand together, united in our faith and our compassion and resilience. Thank you.
Thank you. Hate must be confronted. Communities under threat must be taken seriously. Solidarity must be translated into long-term actions. Next, I would like to invite the President of the Muslim Leadership Council of San Diego, Abdullah Tahiri.
Assalamu alaikum everyone, good afternoon. Thank you for being here. My name is Abdullah Tahiri. I'm the President of Muslim Leadership Council of San Diego. On behalf of the Council, we unequivocally condemn the act of domestic terrorism targeting the Islamic Center of San Diego. This was not only a targeted assault on a place of worship, it was a horrific school shooting. The terrorists who invaded the campus launched a brutal attack that claimed the lives of 3 beloved members of our community members, Amin Abdullah, Mansoor Kaziha, and Brother Nadir Awad. We grieve deeply for the lives stolen, and we stand in fierce solidarity with their families. Our hearts are heavy, but our resolves remain entirely unbroken. We honor the profound heroism of Amin Abdullah, our dedicated security guard and a father who served our community for over a decade. Amin confronted pure evil, and in sacrificing his life, he undoubtedly prevented a catastrophic massacre of our children. Some of the speakers talked about heightened Islamophobia, and I think that bears a lot of repetition today. So while we are horrified by this tragedy, we cannot say we are surprised. This bloodshed is the direct, unpredictable consequence of a political climate that has tolerated, normalized, federalized, institutionalized, routinized, and actively weaponized anti-Muslim sentiments. For years, Islamophobia has not merely festered in the shadows. It has been mainstreamed by political leaders and elected officials who use reckless, divisive rhetoric for political gains. When figures in the highest halls of the government dehumanize Muslims, paint our institutions as threats, and treat our community with suspicions, they lay the groundwork for real-world violence we witnessed yesterday. The terrorists who carried out this assault did not act in a vacuum. They were conditioned by a steady stream of institutionalized bigotry that signals that Muslim houses of worship and Muslim school children are acceptable targets. Let us be entirely clear. Words have consequences. Political rhetoric is not harmless chatter. It's a dog whistle that arms extremists with a sense of validation. When politicians legitimize hate from behind a podium, it inevitably manifests as violence on our streets. We say clearly and without hesitation, enough is enough. Our community will not be intimidated, nor will we be silenced. We will mourn, we will heal, and will continue to stand strong, rooted in justice, dignity, and unwavering support. An unwavering support and faith in our religious traditions. We call on all people of conscience and our leaders in particular to recognize this horror for what it is. It is an act of violence, extremism against a house of faith and an educational sanctuary. It is time for political figures to stop offering empty condolences and tragedies they help cultivate. We demand that our leaders reject divisive rhetoric, hold people accountable, and actively protect the safety and dignity of all communities. Thank you.
Thank you, Brother Abdullah. Much has been said about our hero, Amin. Amin dedicated his life to protecting our children and serving our community. So many knew him as the warm, smiling individual that you saw when you came to the Islamic Center. That familiar presence is going to be deeply missed. Someone who gave his life to protect the Islamic Center, the students, the staff. Today we have his brave daughter, Hawa Abdullah, join us and give a statement.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Peace and blessings be upon everyone. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul 'uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. To Allah we belong and to Him we return. The Quran in Surah Ahzab says, A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. من المؤمنين رجال صدقوا ما عاهدوا الله عليه فمنهم من قضى نحبه ومنهم من ينتظر وما بدلوا تبديلا. Which narrates, among the believers are men true to what they promised Allah. Among them is he who has fulfilled his vow to the death, and among them is he who awaits. Chapter 33, verse 23. My name is Hawa Abdullah. Brian Matthew Climax, known as Amin Abdullah, was my father, my dad. He was a loving father, husband, son, brother, and uncle. To me, my dad was a role model. He was a best friend. He was the best, absolute best dad in the world. He was my protector. If I needed help, anything, like, for example, I got a pop tire on the freeway, my dad immediately, I would call him, he would send my brothers and stop whatever he was doing to make sure that I was safe. He was my teacher. He talked to me about the world, about my faith, Islam. He taught my brothers how to be young black Muslim men. He was all about education. He got his high school diploma and he dreamed more of us. He wanted us to move forward and get more of an education and become scholars. And with that, he advocated for our education. Following his teachings, I got my teaching credential last week. Unfortunately, my father was not able to make it because he was working here. Time schedules would not be aligned. He would have been stuck in traffic to make it there in time. So he was only able to watch through videos and pictures. But when I tell you, my father was so proud of me. He was so proud of me and my siblings. He knew teaching was my passion, and he encouraged me every day to pursue the career that I wanted. Not only was he an amazing father, he was a good son. He called his mom every night to check on him, to check on her. And I would sometimes leave school to sneak up on him. I would come here, drive by these very streets. He would be so vigilant in protecting the masjid, protecting the children. From there, he would watch and see my car. I would pull up inside of the masjid. He would walk up to me and he would be like, hey, I had a feeling it was you. I saw your car pass by, which meant he took his job seriously. So seriously to the point, sometimes he didn't even want to eat. He wanted to save his food till after he left the job because he was afraid that if he went on his break, something bad would happen. My brothers and I and sister, we are all now living up to his legacy. My dad was the #1 advocate for safety and keeping our community safe. He stood against any form of hate. He took his job seriously to protect everyone here. He would want our community to stand together as one. That's exactly what he would want. And I hope this moment we can all come together and to be kind to one another and to remember who he truly was. Regardless if you were a Muslim, okay, if you were Christian, if you were Jewish, if you had no faith, he didn't care. He would treat you human to human. He would smile at people he did not know. You can see the happiness and just who he was as a person, just looking at his face. And I believe that's exactly the legacy he left behind. He wants all of us to be better. Regardless of who we are, what we identify as, he wants us to be better. And that's exactly what I, my family, and I hope every single other person here strives to do every single day. Make this world a better place. As of right now, my family is together supporting one another. Allah says, when one door closes, another one opens. All of our community and help and support we have received shows us another door has been opened. Even though he's passed and he's not here right now to be with us, you guys all being here, having all these people here to support us, stand with us side by side, that's another door that I believe God has opened for us. And I really, really appreciate it. We are so grateful for the community pitching in to support our family right now. And we truly hope from the bottom of our hearts that we can continue to live our father's legacy and to make this world safer, better for children, better for all of us, no matter our orientation, what we look like. Thank you so much. No further questions, please.
May Allah grant patience to this amazing family. The Islamic Center has always been a place of welcome for not just Muslims, but many other communities. We've used that space for many social justice causes, for interfaith learning, and to build community together. And that is why this is not just a Muslim issue. This is a public safety issue. This is a human issue. And this is a moral issue. Next, I would like to invite Ismahan Abdullahi, the Director of Mass.
I had many words to say today of how this is not normal, but for our community it's been normalized. The family that just spoke, Brother Amin's family, his daughter, his children, the pain that they're in, even though as people of faith, we know what is written by God is what's written, but it was avoidable. Many of the speakers talked about the peddling of Islamophobia and anti-Muslim bigotry, the way that it has been normalized. This nation had so many inflection points for change. After slavery, after Jim Crow, after the Vietnam War, after the Japanese internment, after the ICE raids in our streets today, and the constant violence of hate and bigotry that elected officials, that has been normalized also within the media as well to a certain extent. Even right now, when families are still grieving, when our 3 martyrs have not been laid 6 feet under, Muslims still have to speak to their pain so that they are not seen as other, so that they are not dehumanized. We have to ask ourselves, what kind of nation do we want to be? Continue on the path of not healing from the past, in which we continue to divide, in which we continue to normalize the othering and dehumanization of those who may not practice the same faith as you, or have the same skin color as you, or speak the same language as you. These deaths are preventable, both structurally. We have questions in regards to whether or not an alert was sent to the people in this neighborhood, to the mosques, to the schools, to the churches and the synagogues, when law enforcement knew the danger that I was out there. What steps have you taken, both from a communal level, to a narrative from the media level, to accountability from elected officials who still are in positions of power, even though they peddle Islamophobia and hate and anti-Muslim bigotry, where oftentimes people look at the other way? In times that we have normalized the dehumanizations of Muslims both abroad and here as well, and where we have criminalized both the faith and the political speeches of our community. This is a moment of reckoning, a moment in which we have to ask ourselves again what kind of nation that we want to be. Because the kind of nation that I want is a nation where I don't have to hear the children of our beloved community members crying because they lost their father, because they lost their husband and their brothers and their uncles and the pillars of our community. The Islamic Center of San Diego, Sheikh Taha in this community, the school, our leaders, all the people behind me and all the people who are part of this community have been resilient, but do not mistake our reliance and strength of faith to mean that this is normal and that we should be weathering through moments like this over and over and over again. We have to name the problem. We have to make sure that we understand that the never again doesn't just mean selectively. Humanity is not selective. Dignity should not be selective. Hate, anti-Muslim bigotry, Islamophobia, racism, xenophobia should not be normalized. We're a community in mourning. We're a community in grief. We're a community that's devastated. We're a community that's angry. We're a community that's demanding more from our elected officials, to the media and the responsibility that they have in refusing to entertain anti-Muslim bigotry, no matter where it comes from, and giving it airtime and dignifying it in a way that it shouldn't be dignified. And to my American brothers and sisters, don't wait for pain to come at your door for you to feel the pain of your neighbors, no matter what faith that they practice, no matter what religion that they're part of, and no matter what their race or their language or their ethnicity is. It's time to think about the opportunity of creating a society of belonging, not a society that keeps referring and responding to hate, to school shootings, to shootings at houses of worship. This shouldn't be the kind of nation that we want to build. And to our martyrs, Brother Amin, Abdullah, and Brother Nadir, they are in a better place, and we know that. But their death was preventable. And while we remember these 3 individuals and their heroic acts, we must change so that we do not continue to remember those community members that should be alive today.
Thank you to our brave community. Thank you for the family that was affected adversely. This is a message to our general community. To our larger community, I say, your thoughts and prayers are welcome, but not enough. Your concerns are appreciated, but not quite fitting. We need action. We need you to shut down the Islamophobic, the anti-Muslim, anti-Arab rhetoric that causes people like this to cause attacks on Islamic centers, schools, and Muslim community members. To our elected officials, we say, your empty promises are no longer enough. We need action. We need you to step in, step up, and take the security seriously. Address these concerns of the Muslim community adequately. Because our hero, our knight in shining armor, has fallen, and now it's time for law enforcement to step in and protect the Muslim community and the Islamic Center of San Diego. Thank you very much. We can address some questions at this time.
So, speaking locally in San Diego, what specifically do you want to see from our local electeds in terms of change?
We need, as I said, we need them to step in, step up, and make security a priority for them. Security of the Islamic Center, security of the Muslim community. But most importantly, we need our elected officials to meet with Muslim community members. As we have been ignored, we have been put on the back burner in the last few years. Like we didn't matter and we didn't exist. Anyone else?
Could you spell Amin's daughter's name for us?
The first name is Hawaa. Last name Abdullah, Abdullah. Thank you for reminding us. We have a vigil at 6:30 right at this spot again this evening, and we hope to see you there because we will have allies and elected officials joining us this evening.